We're back with another D&D movie time. And today we are watching Lord of the Rings, the extended edition, Fellowship of the Ring, the first of the new, well, of the original trilogy, I guess. What do you remember from the Hobbit movies, Cora, that we watched last month?
Good movies.
Do you remember the characters? Anything that happened?
Yes, but I don't want to spoil that for people.
You're not spoiling it. Hopefully they're not coming into this from just our reviews alone. Hopefully they've watched the movie themselves.
What if they didn't?
Well, then that's their fault, isn't it? We're reviewing movies, and you shouldn't watch a review if you haven't watched the movie yourself.
But what if you're watching the review just to watch the review because you're not planning to watch the movie?
Well, then that's bad on you, because you shouldn't do that. If you have an interest in the movie, as I've said many times in the past, you should watch the movie for yourself and formulate your own opinion before you see what other people's opinions are. The reason you should watch them after is to, when you're watching people's reviews of it, maybe they saw something in the movie or the franchise that you didn't see originally going in on your first view. So it gives you a reason to watch it again, maybe with a new perspective. But like for you, this is your very first time ever watching this. For me, this is like my 10th.
What?
Anyways, The Hobbit. What do you remember from The Hobbit? Who was the main character?
Bilbo Baggins.
Do you think we'll see him again in this one?
Yes, but he'll be very old.
Very old.
Old. I say old.
Do you think we'll see any other returning characters from the first trilogy that we watched? From the Hobbit trilogy?
Yeah, probably the wizard and...
Gandalf?
Yeah, and... all the other elves and other characters.
You think they're all going to come back?
Not all of them, but like some.
Some?
At least the ones that didn't die.
Yeah. Alright, well, I guess we'll find out if Cora's right or not. So as I said, we are watching the extended editions, which adds a little bit more to this. Also, I believe this is a movie that started a meme for Sean Bean.
A meme?
Yes. That anything Sean Bean's in, he'll die. Me and my friend have made endless jokes about the Sean Bean meme of him constantly dying in his movies. And Cora, I'm not really spoiling this for Cora because I don't think Cora knows who Sean Bean is. So. Alright, with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. See you all after the movie.
Bye.
Legend tells of a ring created by an ancient evil that gave its wearer the power to enslave the world. Believed lost for centuries, it has now been found. Is it secret? Is it safe? This is the One Ring, forged by the Dark Lord Sauron. Sauron needs only this ring to cover all the lands of second darkness. He's seeking it. Seeking it all, his thought is bent on it.
No one knows it's here, do they? Do they, Gandalf?
The weapon of the enemy is a gift. Let us use it against him. You cannot wield it.
None of us can. The ring must be destroyed.
It was made in the fires of Mount Doom. Only there can it be unmade.
I know what I must do. I'm afraid to do it.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
There is no other way. There's something down there. Are you frightened? Yes, not nearly frightened enough.
Alright, so we just finished The Lord of the Rings,
The Lord of the Rings.
Fellowship of the Ring.
No, the Lord of the Rings and just the Word of the Rings.
No, it's Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. The next one is called The Two Towers, and the one after that is called Return of the King. Spoiler alert. Anyways, yeah, I know. Sometimes when people do titles, it's like, hello, you're spoiling the movie. You're spoiling the story. I mean, especially like for people who like, you know, read J.R.R. Tolkien's work as he was releasing it. Like, oh, this one's called The Fellowship of the Ring. Oh, this one's called The Two Towers. And then when they get to the third one, it's like, okay, we know which character you're talking about. We know what you mean by Return of the King. So, there was only two maybe possibilities of what that could be. But clearly it was going to be one over the other. Anyways, what was Fellowship of the Ring about, Cora?
It was basically about Bilbo Baggins' son, niece,
Nephew.
Whatever.
Frodo.
Yeah, Frodo, and he goes ahead and on his birthday, he goes ahead and decides to go on an adventure or whatever. Then
A retirement trip.
But then basically he pushes like going along crazy Dobby, drunk Dobby, whatever you want to call him, Dobby. he basically does what Crazy Darby, Gollum, whatever you want to call him, does. And
he's calling the ring my precious.
And goes crazy about it. And then he manages to get over it.
And he leaves everything to Bilbo, or to Frodo.
Yeah.
And then what does Gandalf do?
He goes ahead and puts it in a mail, paper, whatever.
Of course, I said you don't have to go into that much detail. He gives the ring to Frodo. He goes and says, "Oh, well, I'll be back. I gotta go take a trip." And then he comes back and he's like, "Where's the ring?" And he starts freaking out. And I just want to add in here, from watching the Hobbit movies, I could have sworn that, I mean, it was quite heavily hinted that Gandalf knew what Bilbo had. He knew that Bilbo had a ring, a magical ring. And it almost was like he even suspected that it was the Ring of Power. Maybe he couldn't have proven it, but it felt like he could definitely believe it was that ring. And so the way he flips out and reacts with Frodo, like, come on, dude, you knew that this was probably the Ring of Power, and you're, like, freaking out. I mean, this is the entire reason you've been keeping your eye on it. Why you let it be in the Shire, because you thought it'd be safe there. Because what could Bilbo Baggins do with it? So, I mean, I don't know. It felt really weird. But okay, he sends Frodo out on this adventure to take the ring to where?
Basically, the elves.
Yeah, to the elves. And does he send Frodo out alone?
No.
Who goes with him?
His best friend, Sam Max. I forgot his name, but no, it's...
Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, Sam.
And as they start out on their adventure to head to go see the elves, well, technically they're supposed to go meet Gandalf later on at the Prancing Pony, but from there they find out they have to go to the elves to take the ring to somewhere safe. But on their way there, do they run into anybody?
Yes.
Who?
A dude that was from the Hobbit.
No.
And a bunch of other hobbits.
They weren't in the Hobbits. You mean they ran into two other hobbits?
Oh, sorry, you're talking about the man, dude. The man from the men.
I don't know. You're so weird. But basically, Sam and Frodo, they run into Merry and Pippin. And they nearly get caught by the ring wraiths.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
The guys on the horses.
I know!
And they end up getting to the Prancing Pony. And they meet with this guy named Strider. But what is Strider's real name? Do you remember? Aragorn.
Can I just call him Jeff?
No! His name is Aragorn!
How am I supposed to remember that?
They've said it several times.
It's a long name!
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's Aragorn. It's like very short.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's shorter than our last name, Connaughton. Anyways, then on their way to the elves, what happens to Frodo?
He gets stabbed.
Yep. a Mordor blade, which poisons him and is gonna turn him into a ring wraith if they don't get it cured by the elves. So then what happens?
They do get killed by the elves.
Well, how do they get it cured by the elves?
Magic? I don't know.
A girl elf showed up.
Yeah.
And she took off with Frodo to race him as fast as she could to her father, who is Elrond from Rivendell. And what'd you think of that scene when the ring wraiths were chasing her and she summoned the water? The water, the steed of water.
Can you remind me of a movie that we watched on New Year's? You should go watch it. Watch the video now.
The Last Unicorn?
Yes, watch the video now. If you don't, you're not true subscriber.
Don't say that.
Subscribe now.
Anyways, so she gets Frodo back, and is Frodo okay?
Yes. Yes.
And is everyone else okay?
Double 100 trillion yes.
And we meet some new faces here too, don't we?
Yes.
Who do we meet? Well, there's Legolas from the Hobbit movies. You see him again. Or as you know him, Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know!
Well, who else do you see? I don't remember singing Gandalf finally returns, right?
And then he already...
No, he was gone. He was captured by his friend.
I thought we already got past that part.
No, he doesn't return until they made it to Rivendell. And then Boromir shows up. Who, if you know who that actor is, you instantly know, oh, he's gonna die. Because Sean Bean's characters tend to die a lot. So, me and my friend have a running joke where if there are any movies where Sean Bean's character doesn't die, he's probably begging and pleading with the director to let him suddenly die in some weird way. The roof could fall on my head and crack my skull open. Just think, the people will love it. It's a drama. It's a love story. What's a good love story without some tragedy? Anyways, and then we get Gimli. Come on, Cora. Gimli. I think she's gonna like Gimli once we get into the next one. Because the back and forth between Legolas and Gimli is so awesome. It's like some of the best parts. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't care about Aragorn as much. Because Aragorn is kind of a stick in the mud all the time. He's like very serious, very gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, no time for fun. Whereas these two are like literally counting how many bad guys they're killing. Yeah, true, Aragorn does have one or two moments where he gets to be a little bit fun as a character, but they're too far and few between. Everything with him is drama and depression. I mean, he's like Batman. Always brooding.
I'm Batman.
Anyways, so they have a big meeting, right?
Yes.
And what do they decide?
To destroy the ring in a different place.
Back where it was forged in Mordor. Which is where all the bad guys are coming from.
Which in my mind makes no sense because would they still be there making
It's really funny too, because like that's exactly where the ring wants to go. Where everybody wants to take the ring to this one spot, but one wants to go there to destroy it, and one wants to go there to bring back the main bad guy. But everybody wants to get the ring to the same spot.
Like, doesn't it really matter? Like, here's how the movie would have gone shorter. They all go to the exact same place, so any of them knowing. Big ginormous battle. Good guys went, destroy Ring, good ending, short movie, short trilogy, the end.
I don't think that was the point. Anyway, so they decide they're going to go to Mordor. And they set out as a fellowship. And they have a little bit of trouble right out the gate on a mountain with a snowstorm. And a bird spies on the plains. So they're forced to move through the mines of Moria, which belong to the dwarves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't go too well for them, does it?
Nope.
Why? What happens there?
Goblins.
What?
Goblins.
And? The fire demon?
Yeah.
And do we lose anyone?
No, Gandalf, no!
Gandalf?
No!
Are you sad that Gandalf died?
Yes. I mean, unless he had to retire or he was going to die from age anyways, in real life.
Well, the Hobbit movies came out after Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so it doesn't really make any sense, so...
Yeah.
What?
And then after that, they meet up with the Wood Elves, right? And you meet Galadriel again. You saw her back in the Hobbit series. She was the one that has that weird deep voice, and when she saved Gandalf. And yep. So where do they go after that? After the Wood Elves? I mean, we're getting closer to the end of the movie here, Corey. You should be remembering this stuff, no problem. They traveled down river.
Yes, and they get attacked.
What happens before they get attacked? There's something really big that happens while they're making camp. While they're collecting firewood and stuff. What happens?
I have no idea.
Boromir tried to take the ring from Frodo. What'd you think of that scene?
Kind of. Confusing, but also makes sense. I think it makes sense, but also confusing, which makes it even more confusing.
What was confusing about it?
Like, he wanted to help. Why did he take the ring to use it for its power?
Because they felt like if... Basically, they're making the same mistakes as the first king did. As the guy who took the ring in the first place. He had the chance to destroy the ring, but because of his carelessness, if you want to call it that, or his inability to overcome that power, he felt that the ring was too powerful and shouldn't be destroyed, should be used for good, but because it's an evil ring, it doesn't do good things. Although really all it does is make one invisible. You never see this ring do anything else except drive people mad and make them invisible. That is it. I don't know how this ring is like the most powerful ring going.
Yeah, that's the confusing part.
You never even see it have control over the people who do the other rings. So it's like, you know, okay, this one ring is so powerful, why can't Frodo put it on and command the ring wraiths what to do? Because they're supposed to be the 9 humans. If that ring controls them all, then he should have power over the ring wraiths. He should have power over any other ring user. But no, he doesn't. And so Boromir, he basically was like the same way. He's like, hey, give me the ring and we can use this to end it. Instead of destroying this powerful weapon, which I don't think it is really that powerful of a weapon, we can use this power to destroy our enemies. And basically Frodo said no. And he actually made that same offer. He's like, you know, would you destroy it? Would you take this from me, Aragorn? And Aragorn's like, you know what? I can feel that I really want to take that ring from you. So, yeah, you better go. Basically is how he was. And he's like, I've got just enough strength right now to tell you, run away. Because if you don't run away, I would want to take that ring. And I'd want to use it for making myself invisible, I guess. I really never did understand, like I said, how it's so powerful. I don't see invisibility as this major power.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you're visible, you're clearly, you know, I mean, Isildur learned that same lesson. I mean, he got away from some bad guys because he was invisible, but the ring slipped off his finger when he jumped in the water, and they saw him, and so they killed him. So, but, alright, then they get attacked. Frodo takes off all by himself, but one person is not quite ready to let Frodo go it alone. Who is that, Cora?
Sam!
And did you nearly cry when Sam was trying to get to Frodo?
Maybe.
I'm going alone, Sam. Of course you are, and I'm coming with you. Yes, you're going alone, and I'll be there.
Like, that's how
We'll both be alone, just happening to go in the same direction, okay?
Like, would it really be alone if you're going with somebody?
I mean, it depends how you look at it.
I mean, unless you two are somewhere else, but you're planning to go in the exact same place.
Cora,
But going together.
you'll learn sometimes in life, there is a saying that you could be at a party surrounded by all your friends and still be alone.
That makes no sense.
It'll make sense to you when you're older. But, alright. That is going to go ahead and wrap up this. So when we come back, we will give our final scores and thoughts, and we will see you all in a minute.
Bye.
For thousands of years, the world has been protected by the Guardian of Light, or as he is more commonly known, Santa Claus. Over the centuries, factors such as fear and prejudice, greed and jealousy, misunderstandings, betrayal and war have segregated most humans from the magical world of elves, fairies, wizards, and the like. This has resulted in many misconceptions and generalizations of the true nature of Santa and his world.
This 6-book series by Sean Connaughton begins as the current of a long series of Guardians is murdered by a group of monstrous enemies recently escaped from an enchanted South Pole prison. These creatures are loyal to the darkness, an evil force determined to exterminate the light in order to enslave all creatures of the world.
Shane Connor, an average young man, suddenly finds himself being trained as the new Guardian. As he adapts to his new life among fantastic creatures, he goes on an adventurous quest with a legendary wizard for the ultimate weapon to use against the darkness, and faces murderous enemies like Rasputin, Morgana Le Fay, Krampus, and many more.
Along with his best friend Joe Gomez, Shane encounters politics, history, mysterious murders, new loves, his own hidden past, and racial dynamics among the fantasy races that turn out to be all too real. Their adventures reveal the true nature of the world and challenge the current state of how all races interact.
This series expertly melds myths, legends, history, faiths, folklore, and secret societies into a fascinating, cohesive, comprehensive world of wonder and magic.
From Atlantis to Olympus, from Hades to the moon, and from broomstick races to Christmas deadlines, join the new Santa Claus on his amazing journey. But beware, will Shane's quest achieve his ultimate goal of destroying the darkness and preserving the light of the world? Or is he actually playing right into a plot by dark forces that will result in his, and our, ultimate doom?
So make your list and check it twice for the Guardian of Light book series. Download your audiobook or ebook today from Audible, Amazon, or iTunes.
Alright, Cora, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this one?
9 out of 10 because now that you said it, why is the ring called a powerful ring if it has no power?
Well, it does have
The
some
only power it has is driving everybody mad and makes it invisible.
Well, I mean, that's just from what I know of it, or what I remember of it.
I mean, if somebody else were to actually have it, controlling that specific ring,
that's just a problem for the franchise. That's not a problem for the movie.
Actually controlling it, but taking their mind into
Clark, we already covered this in the other part, in the review. We covered this already.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite character?
Sam.
Sam is your favorite character? Wow, I honestly thought you were going to say Frodo.
Sam.
Or Pippin. Or Merry.
Sam.
And actually, you know Merry, or, wait, is it Pippin? I can't remember which one's which. Pippin is going to be from a show called Lost, which we're going to watch. And Merry is actually someone you've already sort of... You've heard his voice before. He was Glenn and Glenda in Seed of Chucky. Chucky's kid. Yeah, he was that. And the other one is in a TV show I want to watch with you called Lost, which has that music that's like Minecraft. And it's about these people who crash land on an island. So I think you'll really enjoy that show. But yeah, okay, 9 out of 10. I can get behind that. I mean, me, myself, I would probably also give this one a 9 out of 10. Just because of the fact that I do enjoy it. It is a good movie. But I feel like, quite obviously, these movies tend to get a little bit better moving on. They have their moments. And I think a big part of that for me is the part of the story I'm most excited to see is the Frodo-Sam story along with Gollum and everything that goes on with those three. I'm just not as thrilled with the others in their tales. But yeah, so is there anything else you want to say that you really liked or disliked about this movie, Cora? What did you think of the music?
Pretty good, but it seems like they most of the time they played two songs most of the time. I mean, yes, some.
I heard you humming some of the music sometimes.
No.
Especially when it kicked in with the actual Lord of the Rings theme. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. You'll hear that a lot throughout. Oh, what was the freakiest part of this movie for you? Hello? I am addressing the living. Right? I mean, you freaked out a lot when Bilbo reached out for his ring to try to take it from Frodo. Was that the freakiest part?
Yes, like, literally look at his face.
And what was the saddest part of this movie for you? I mean, we had two characters that you said died, so... We lost two characters, so which character's loss was...
Gandalf.
Gandalf?
Gandalf.
Gandalf!
Gandalf!
There's no Grand. It's not Grandolph. Jesus.
Gandalf!
Alright. Anyways, that is going to go ahead and wrap up this video. We will return next Friday with Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. So I hope you all will look forward to that. I expect this to... Well, I already know because I've seen all these. But... oh, I can't wait. Alright, we will see you all in the next review.